there comes a time for a meltologist when the questions really start to come your way. Correct? Absolutely. Questions like what, Panton? Well, say for example, I might get a question, a meltologist like myself may get a question like such. Say, Panton, you're a meltologist, eh? How can I become a meltologist just like you? How can I become a meltologist and start doing the work just like you? What do I have to do? What does it take? These are all good questions. What is meltology? I never heard of it. Are you pulling my leg, or did you make it up, or what? These are questions, all good questions that need to be answered and addressed. And I can do that right now. I can do it right now, baby. First of all, let me show you what a meltologist is doing on the scene. Because first of all, we are on the scene, baby. Ain't no need to worry, we're on the scene. It's gonna be all right, we're here. So, yeah. Playtime's over, the horseplay, all that's done. Yeah. New building here, old building here. X Factor building here, no X Factor damage here. This was not X Factored. This did not see the event. This did. Oh, yes it did. Yes it did. Yes it did. And this sidewalk here is ugly. It's not even symmetrical. Now take a look here. So, we look down and look. It could have been straight. It could have been straight. But it's not. That's not what we're doing today. That's not a part of the agenda. That's not a part of the agenda, to have symmetrical beauty and such in harmony. That's not the era. Apparently that's not the time we're in right now. The time of beauty and harmony. But what I do think is happening is that we may be entering into that time yet again. The time that we still have here remaining from the last one. So, a meltologist, first of all, is great friends, is finds himself or herself to be great friends with what? The masonry. It's everywhere, right? It is everything to a meltologist to know and to have a personal relationship with the masonry. The masonry. This is masonry down here too. The sand and ash. This sand and ash right here, that's masonry material. There's a lot of masonry in here, okay? Little stones and bricks, they're bricks, okay? And it's all masonry. It all comes from the masonry. So does this stuff. I showed you where this stuff comes from. It comes out of the pebblecrete. It comes out. These are the minerals blown out of the pebblecrete. It's everywhere, and they use it to, to rebuild and such, and they do. The bricks are damaged. So when you get to a location, a site, and you're going to do some surveying, say a meltologist is going to do some surveying, you're going to first identify what types of masonry materials you're working with here on the site. We got new bricks right here, obviously new. How do you know that, Panton? Look at the mortar lines here, first of all. They're fresh, new, and they are what? Concave. Concave grooves. They're clean grooves. You can see they're concave. They groove inward. They're all very clean, and the grooves are concave. Clean. Okay? Fresh, brand new bricks. Nothing wrong here. It's ugly. It's not that pretty. Very bland, stale, but it's new. This is X Factor bricks here. These went through a severe event, heat event, likely some sort of electrical heat maybe. I don't know. Plasma? I don't know. But whatever it was, the heat came from where? Down there, baby. Down there, baby. You weren't going to survive underground, baby. Hell no. That's bullshit. It's like, oh, they went underground. The ant people brought us underground. Okay, the ant people brought us underground. Give me a break. The ant people brought you up from the laboratory, baby. Likely. The ant people brought you up from the laboratory, baby. Okay? They didn't bring it down. Give me a break. You would have been toast. Okay? You would have been toast. Cooked meat. If you were anywhere on the surface of this world or underground, you would have been cooked meat. Boiled stew. Okay? Everyone was. You would have had to have been up there. And then that would have been at risk of whoever else is up there trying to survive as well. So, and that would not have been easy. So, yeah, not many survived this event that caused this damage here. Look at the mortar. That's immediately how I know already that this is an X-Factored building. I can stand right here and in 2 seconds tell you which one's X-Factored. This one. Just by looking at the mortar here, and it's melting and gluing out. The minerals inside have popped into giant rocks and stones in the bricks, which still have red pieces in them still, because they were all red. This one's still red here on this. They were all red. They're yellow. They're yellow. They're yellow now. They're all red. And they were all red. And look at the mortar here. It's squeezing out like a peanut butter jelly sandwich being squeezed. It's not, they're not concave, and the grooves are not concave, they are convex and oozing out. Okay, look at how they are convex. Okay, they're gross, and they're not, see here? That's not concave, that's not clean. They're very melted and damaged. Look at the minerals all popped out of these bricks. Oh, and you better believe that these were perfect bricks. They were all smooth, perfect smooth bricks. Smoother than that even. There are smoother examples here still. They were like glass, okay? Like this here. Look at that. They were all like that. All this stuff here is just minerals popping and blowing out, having reactions from the heat and the introduction of other minerals from the brick and the mortar. Basically the mortar, the lime in the mortar, which mortar is mostly lime, is introduced by the heat into the brick. The lime in the brick introduces the lime from the mortar under certain heat and pressure, which then causes the lime to fully invade the brick. Fully invade the brick until it forms into one solid material. This is all happening under heat, high heat, molten. And then when it cools, you have limestone, which is a lime-invaded brick, which results in sometimes a harder stone, but more inconsistent, harder than the brick sometimes, but it's really just a lime-invaded brick, which is now like a stone. Yeah, so limestone does fit. That it does fit, but it's not what they tell us. Limestone is brick invaded by lime. And that happens because there's already lime in the brick. There's lime, tons of lime in the mortar, which is invading it. And since the lime is already present in the brick, when they're hot enough, it will introduce it. It will invite it into the lime within the brick, which has other minerals in it. So then when that happens and too much lime comes into the brick, a reaction happens. And then with the pressure of all the bricks and such, you get different minerals being formed when they cool. It's blatant. That's what meltology is. It's blatant. You can see what's going on here. Look at the mortar is bleeding out past the fucking bricks, hugging them, squeezing them in onto the mortar. It's hugging the bricks and making them disappear almost here. You see? It's a mess. The bricks are all blown out, damaged. Now look at this here. Now here's something you have to pay attention to. Every detail. Every detail. Notice down here we have what? Green, green, green moss on the bricks. Green moss around here. And it is only from here, the green here. Let me get out of the way. The green is from there. Okay? There's some green moss, to there, where the water drainage is. Now what's that happening there for? There's no moss out here, no green out here, no green out here, okay? But there is by these water drains in between them here. Let's, where is it? That one or this one? This one. So, there's a drain over here. The bricks are blown out, damaged. Again, notice what we have here on these red bricks. See, they were red. See, they were red. They're black now, burnt black and green. We have moss and lichen eating the bricks. And what are they eating off of? The red carbon-14. And these red bricks, they're red. And it's only by the water here. Why is that, Panson? I'll tell you why. Because what we have here is the moss. What does the moss like to eat? The carbon-14. Absolutely it does. It loves it. So why the concentration of moss near just the water here? Well, because we have a feast here. We have water to drink and carbon-14 to eat. This is a feast for moss. And so we have it. A feast. We are having a feast around where there's water. Near those drains right here and near this drain. But not anywhere else, really, because there's not enough water. Not enough water here. So we pay attention to these things. You look at every detail, every brick. Every brick. Okay? And they're just completely smoked. The mortar should not look like this whatsoever. Look at this. How big these minerals are and how inconsistent they are. How large some of them are. Look at that. And in the bricks too. And these ones here, completely the opposite. They're grooved inward. They're clean. You can see that they don't show signs of heat damage and blown out. These do. And this ain't happening from wind. Nobody's back here touching the building. How many people do you think touched the building to make this stuff come off, if that's what you think? It's from people touching the building, banging carts up against here, wagon carts over the years. Give me a break. No one's touching the buildings, first of all. No one is touching the buildings. They never were. Okay? And they knew in the past not to touch the buildings because the fucking buildings were powering up the fucking things themselves. So you likely didn't touch the buildings because they were, you could likely get zip-zapped. So, or burnt. Those over here, we'll take a look at. These are all from the local area right here and here. And I have some other samples here from the neighboring old building, the barrel house right there, the barrel house. There are some samples here that I took from over there to compare. Let's begin right here with the terracotta. Big chunk of ringing. It rings like a bell. Everything in there rings like a bell. Listen to that beautiful sound. And it's cooked out. It's bent, it's warped. As you can see, it's slightly bent right here. It's bent right here, you see? The bend right here, slight bend. It's been warped. And all this right here is melted into it. I tried to take a stone here and pick at some of the stuff, and it doesn't come out very hard. It's melted into it. The mortar here, they likely took it out when they're doing some projects here, and they likely pulled it out of one of these drain pipes here or something. I'm not sure. They pulled it out somewhere, or somewhere from this where they built this. I don't know what's going on here, but yeah, it's just laying here on the ground here. This terracotta, fired terracotta. It rings like a bell. Here, right here, cannonballs. Cannonballs. Likely some cannonballs. Give me a fucking break. Those aren't bricks. Those aren't cannonballs. Get that straight. These aren't cannonballs. Okay. This here, oh, let me get out of the way. Let me big head out of the way. Oh yeah, more terracotta. And it looks almost like sawdust. And it looks like it's made of sawdust, but it's terracotta. Listen, that's terracotta. Now let's move into the limestone. This is limestone here. Limestone. This is limestone here. This is limestone here. This is limestone here. This is the limestone section here. Let's move this out of the way. Terracotta is done. So, these all came off of the barrel house from its fake foundation, from its phony foundation. Okay? These all came, and they're all crumbling down on the ground. I picked these up off the ground, and they came crumbling off of the building. We know what limestone is. It can be gray, or it can be yellow, and or almost white and ashen like this, and it is brick. We know what this is. We've seen the birth of this, and I've showed you many examples, and I'll be showing many more. Even more around the corner here. There's something really cool I want to show you over here. This here is pebblecrete. Pebblecrete. It's not limestone, but it will turn into limestone. That's what's happening here. This is just a conglomeration of masonry materials being invaded by lime, pretty much. All brick, limestone is just lime invaded brick, where the lime has completely introduced itself into the brick because the brick has lime as well, and when they get hot enough, the lime will be invited into the brick and it will form limestone, right? Yes. But here it is still in the process, churning up. It can be fooled, this can be mistaken as concrete, but it's not. I mean, concrete can turn into this stuff. It can blow out into a very inconsistent material like such. But these here all came off of around that building over there, that barrel house. All these pebblecretes here, and this one came from this building here, the dark one. It looks like asphalt. It's just burnt. It's just burnt pebblecrete. Same as this stuff. Same as this stuff. Same as this and this. This is fully limestone, limestone, limestone. Almost limestone, but still pebblecrete. See? Moving on. This is mortar from between some of the bricks on this building here. The building that we looked at here with the muffed up mortar. Okay? And they've come and pasted on. They've pasted some areas like the bottom of this brick here. I don't know why they did that. Because bricks aren't supposed to be like that, that's why. So they come and they paste little pieces here and there. Repairs, you know, little stupid ones here like this, you know. Like useless, pointless ones. The whole building is muffed up. But they were red bricks, see? They were red. Still some red there. They were all red, now they're yellow. Yellow, they were all red. You see the red bricks in here. So, that's mortar. It looks very much like the pebblecrete. And you see that it is almost like, it is a pebblecrete. Because the mortar has blown out into very inconsistent material. The minerals are very big. The granules are very big. Here's some more. This right here is a brick. That is a brick. It came from this building here. It almost resembles a stone, does it not? Take a look here. Look at this side. Looks almost like a stone, kind of. Well, it's pretty square, but you see it's kind of rounded and it's got like some scratches here. It looks like a pattern. It's a brick from this building. From this building right here that we're looking at right here. This is a brick from this building right here. So is this. A brick from this building. So is this right here, a piece of a brick from that windowsill with that cracked piece on top right there. This is a brick as well from a windowsill down over here, laying on the ground. And here's another piece of a brick from this building here. A brick, a yellow, it's yellow now. And these are all bricks from this one building right here. From back here, they look like junk, like rocks, stones, crap. But all of this stuff came from the buildings. Two buildings, basically. This one and the barrel house. All this stuff here, masonry materials. And I know what each and every one of them are. These are the bricks right here. This is the mortar right here, these two. This here is all pebblecrete. This here is limestone. Terracotta. Terracotta. I always find terracotta around these sites, everywhere, because they had everything built to the highest of quality and standards. They made stuff hard. That's one of the key things here. If it's hard, I'm talking about in this realm, baby. If it's hard, it's likely man-made. It's likely man-made. Wood, unless it's wood, or, bone structure of a creature, teeth, bone, and such, what have you from a creature, spikes, ivory. But besides that, if it's hard, man-made, man-made. All the stuff on the ground, the hard stuff, man-made. The stuff in the buildings, all the hard stone, everything hard, that's the thing that they did. That's what they got here, is that they could make stuff hard, and they could do it well. And they could make all sorts of hard materials: glass, crystals, bricks, stone, granite, all of it. All of it. Mr. Spider right here, still hanging out. That's a very big thing that we have to get to understanding here and get to knowing. The hard stuff in this world, we made it. We made it. All of it. Even the trees, pretty much. I mean, who knows? Maybe they were all designed in a laboratory. I don't know. But besides the wood, everything else that's hard, think about it. We made it. Because when it comes to the stones, don't think about the stone. The stones are the masonry. That's masonry. And they're hard. They made hard stuff. We are not the same people as these people. We make soft stuff today. We're soft folks. We are soft folk today. We're like that pig. Now there's an old world story that comes to us from the old world. Let me tell you about this story quickly, and I'll get on and I'll move on. There were 3 pigs, okay? There were 3 pigs. One of them decided to make a home out of straw and mud, okay? But pretty much just straw. His brother-in-law, okay? Now this pig had a brother-in-law, and he made a house right next door, and he decided to make it out of wood. Out of wood. So he did. He cut the timber, he built himself a house of wood. Kind of like us today. That's our level of, that's our skill level right there, pretty much. Wood. So we are much like the second pig. But then there was a third pig. And this was that first pig's actual brother, his older brother. Now he comes and decides to build a house next door to first pig's brother, to his brother-in-law here. So what he does is he gathers all the clay on the ground, and he makes some bricks, and he bakes them, and he cooks them. Okay, he cooks the bricks, and he made some mortar. He got himself a nice pot of mortar, all mixed up. The end of the story goes like this. That first pig and the second pig, their brother-in-law, they're dead. Okay? They're dead. But that third pig, he cared much about us here today. And because he built his house of brick, here it remains for us to observe it, to get to know it personally, and to figure out what the hell to do next with what we know to be true. Love you all. Take care.